Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahusha Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo. Today is the 26th of December 2023. It's 2:26 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm gonna do a little trade breakdown here on this live trade, this live paper trade I'm in, and how it coincides with some of the new
Stocks
things I'm
ES
looking
buy.
at
Stocks ES buy. Iceberg ES sell
with my
Thunder
Vwap
Flurry.
indicator. And let me just repeat that. I know that alert just came in, so I'll be going over how I enter trades using my Vwap indicator and talking about a little trading psychology stuff. I was going over Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas over the weekend, so we'll get into some of that as well. And this is how I actually kind of discovered things on my own chart that I wasn't really looking at. And I have them up there, but I didn't really backtest and look at what I should be looking at. Right, so let's see here. I gotta go live in my Discord. So wait, not this. Don't want this. Alright, let me just share my screen. Let's see here. Alright, cool. So anybody who will be in the Discord, they can see my screen as well. Alright, so everything is set up. Okay, cool. Let me just jump into this now. So in my my previous video, the trade setup video, I was talking about Camarilla R3 breakout, which is this level right here at 48.15.50, 48.15.40. I noticed that some of these indicators now are breaking it down like in increments of 10 instead of actual increments of like 25 to 25, like 25 to 50 to 75. So I don't know why it's doing that, but I guess it's being a little more precise or something like that. I don't know, but so some of these levels here, it's saying like let me just point that out. That's Camarilla R3 right there. That's the level there at 48.15.40, right? So all right, so let me just open this up a little more. So you can see this here. Now I was doing a little back test, right, on on the ES, right, and I was looking at my Vwap my Vwap bands, right. So let me just break down what these are here. So this white line here, that's Vwap, right? That's Vwap. This is the first upper deviation right here, this red line. And then this darker red is the second deviation band, right? Also, this is the first lower deviation band, this bright green. And this darker green here is the second deviation band, right? So what I've noticed like in the back testing is that, hold on one second, just move this across, make this bigger. Okay. So what I've noticed on the back testing and looking at how it moves around, how price moves around with this Vwap, and let me just shout out quantum trading for these as you can see here, this is Quantum Vwap Pro, right? That's the indicator's name. So if you want to go to quantum trading, you could purchase these Vwaps, right? So they have a lot of a lot of different kind of features with the Vwap. So let me just point that out real quick. Let me just open up one of these. Right, so you could have the VWAP, you could have the
Stocks
anchored
ES
VWAP,
buy.
you could have moving VWAP, you could have time-based VWAP, time-based VWAP, and intraday VWAP. Right, so there's a whole lot of features you could do with this VWAP here. So that's for another video though. Right, so okay. So I was looking at this here, like sometimes at the open, right? Like if the Camarilla are set up in I think it's an overlapping higher value relationship. Let me just confirm that. And let me take everything else off but the VWAP. I mean the Camarillas, right? To give some clarity here. Right, so yesterday's Camarilla R3 was here. Now it's
Stocks
moved
ES
up.
buy.
Camarilla S3 has moved up as well, but it hasn't moved up above prior days Camarilla R3, so that's an overlapping higher value, right? So Camarilla S3 is now at 4795.08 and Camarilla R3 is at 4815.40, right? So it's an overlapping higher value relationship, which is moderately bullish, right? So we're looking for some buys here at the open. We're looking to break out of Camarilla R3. We opened within range in the Camarillas and just kind of moved sideways overnight. Kind of within a range, but open very bullish, right? So we had this open here at approximately 4800.25. We had a 13
Stocks
point
ES
move
buy.
up
Sweep
here on
ES.
this buy
Absorption
candle
buyers
on the
ES.
first candle, right? Then we ranged kind of to the upside, right? So we're ranging, but still moving to the upside, still breaking highs overnight and stuff like that, coming into the RTH session, right? So as you can see, we had a little pullback, testing kind of like the highs of this open candle right here, right? At around 4806.50, right? So and notice like when coming into the RTH session, right? If we're above now this this second deviation band creates a lot of support, right? Even if price breaks below this lower deviation band here, the second deviation band, it usually pushes up. Like when you look for reversal patterns here at this level, this lower deviation band right here, if you get the reversal pattern, like okay, you got the stop, right? You got the buying up absorbing price and you get the reversal candle right now. When you start breaking these levels here, it's usually a buy to at least this level, right? Usually you get to at least this first deviation, this lower deviation band, and sometimes you actually get to VWAP, right? Because the buying here, it's like you're getting this at a discounted level, right? Like the players are looking at it like this, you're getting this as a discounted level in an uptrend, and that's another significant thing as well. We're in an uptrend, so any pullbacks below this second lower deviation band usually gets buyers straight back to value, which is VWAP, right? Now, when you're at the open, sometimes you're trying to decide. Let's see here, 1 second. You're trying to decide whether price is going to sell or is going to buy up, right? Now, even though in a uptrend, you might get some sell off, right? Now, the thing to look for here is where we're opening in relation to these VWAP bands. Now, I haven't totally carved out this strategy perfectly yet, but this is just like a rough draft, right? So if you're opening here, you see we've gotten back we've regained above this lower deviation band here, right? Going into the ETH, we're bouncing between this lower deviation, second lower deviation, and VWAP. Now, when we come back here and we test at the open, we're testing above this lower deviation band, right? We're getting buyers. Now you're going to get more buyers than here, right? You're going to get more volume. So price is going to push through VWAP easier, right? So once you see the reversal the pattern, right, from this is the candle before the open, and this is the candle at the open. Now, when you break above this first deviation band here, you could take it's a high probability buy where your stop could be like this. Okay, let me just use this. So let's say this is your entry if you're aggressive, because you're moving above where this candle closed, right? You could enter right there with a stop below this candle, right below that wick, right? So you can see it now below that wick right there, and you're trying to get to at least this this upper deviation band right here. So within that, that's 3 points, right? So it depends on how much points you actually looking at, but it's just like it's like an entry setup, right? Because you're probably looking for more points than that. I know I'm looking for more points than 3 points, right? And risking 1.75 points, right? So it's roughly like a 1.86 ratio, right? So looking at this here, you're pushing up, you're in the buy right now. Let's say you took that buy, you're pushing up. You're gonna break, when you break this upper deviation band, right? The first one, you're gonna run into this second deviation band. Now this deviation band, the second one, is like if the buying isn't strong and if we're not in like a trend day, you're probably gonna get resistance here back to this upper deviation band. And the buyers are gonna have to sustain the buying at this level, because you're always gonna get like hold on, you're always gonna get like resistance above this second deviation band, right? So depending on how you wanna judge your strategy, you're gonna be looking for, let me just take this off here, you're gonna be looking for reversal patterns above this level here. And if it breaks this second deviation band, then you should probably get out. So you can see here at the open, you had this push up from the lower deviation band, got to here, got resistance. We came back, we tested this first deviation, upper deviation band, came back here to the second one, testing it again, broke above the second one, tested it again here, broke above it, and now you can see the big break is happening here, right? So you're coming back to like VWAP. So your stop in this trade could possibly be like, if you break VWAP, you're probably gonna get back to like this level right here, right? The lower deviation, right? So in good risk management, I'm probably gonna stop out below VWAP, right? Or even stop out when we get this reversal pattern from this upper deviation, the second one. You could place your stops like just below this here, like this level right here. When we tested, we got buyers. So you can see this is a support level. If we break this upper deviation, the first one could stop out right here, right? Now, seeing that it's in an uptrend and we're kind of getting some buyers, not really strong, right? Because if it's strong, like in a trend day, we're gonna be up here and testing this, not coming back to this first upper deviation. We're just gonna be testing the second deviation and riding that on the way up, right? We're not getting that though. We're getting reversal patterns at this resistance level, right? So you gotta be cautious in this uptrend here, because we're gonna get some deep pullbacks back to VWAP. As you can see here, first pullback to VWAP. We got the reversal pattern up here again, back to VWAP, buying straight above to the first deviation, coming back here testing VWAP. So the uptrend isn't that strong, but the bulls are still controlling price, right? So when we get this test here at VWAP again, we're up here now again, but we're not testing. You see, we're not getting to this second upward deviation band right there. So let's see here how price. Now I actually took some trades. Let me just show how I took some trades. Now I didn't catch this one here, like this buy right here. I waited to kind of break this upper deviation band to see if we're gonna get something like a trend day, right? So I took my first buy when we tested this upper deviation band here, and I entered at roughly this area right here, right? So we ran into the upper deviation, came back. I added again here when we broke above this upper deviation, added a couple times more above this upper deviation, and then eventually stopped out when we came back to VWAP, right? So now when we got support at VWAP, I entered long here a couple times again at this level here around 1480, well, 1448.13, but I think my average price came up to like 48.13.75. But the first entries was around 48.13.25, right? So with those entries there, came back, tested VWAP, didn't stop out on it. And now I'm still holding these positions here where we're getting these retests at VWAP, as I said, right? And I was actually looking at let's see, where is it? Where is Camarilla? Oh yeah. So Camarilla R3 is also providing some kind of support here, right? At 48.15.50. So right, so we're getting some pullbacks here to basically VWAP and Camarilla R3, right? So we're struggling to break out, but we're still holding above this level in a moderately bullish setting, right? So it's actually acting as it should, like it's moderately bullish. Right now we're up at Camarilla R4, and as you can see again, price is not breaking above this second deviation band, right? And it's coming to line up with Camarilla R4. Now what I would do here is move my stop up to around here, right? Because you can see we're testing just below these levels here at the first upper deviation, right? Now this was a big one where it could stop me out. These ones are getting a little more shallow in the retracement, so this could probably survive if I place my stop here. This one could probably survive, right? So let's see. Let's say I place my stop here at 48.20.25, right? So it's kind of below the structure and it's below this upper deviation. Now we're getting the reversal pattern here again, just like here. We're getting the reversal pattern at the upper deviation band, right? You see it's happening here again. How far is it going to retrace? Let's see where it gets to, right? Like, is it going to stop here? Is it going to peak below it a little bit? Or is it going to just recover before that and just push through, right? Now, my target here is at 48.34, and that's because of some heavy liquidity I'm seeing on Bookmap. So let me just go over here, switch my screen, go over to Trader Map Pro. All right, so this Trader Map Pro shows you like when certain campaigns start and who's actually in control or who's manipulating the price the most, right? So these liquidity levels here right, at the start of the campaign was approximately 1:34 Eastern time this morning, right? They came into the book, right? They placed their bracket orders and they placed their target here at just below 48.35. So let's say roughly 48.34, right? So this liquidity, I have it filtered where you don't see certain liquidities below. I think it's like below 70 or something like that. But you won't see all of the liquidity, but you'd see the major players, right? So this, you see how this is staying in the book? That's the target right there, right? So for this campaign here, we had the uptrend, as I was saying, in the ETH, right? They started their campaign here though. They pulled back to this level, 4807, right? So these are the guys who actually brought this price back down. So they wanted to accumulate some here. They bought, they started buying. You see where the buying is starting right here, big bubbles, and they just took it into the RTH, right? And they're still buying. And all of this liquidity at the bottom here keeps on moving up to support price, right? So these big players are showing smaller players that there is support here, right? At 48.20, that's actually where my stop is right now. So this is showing you that, okay, we have support here. If price does break, we have big liquidity here to absorb some of the selling. And this here is to encourage like shorter term players to, this is the target, right? Not this big target. Some of them might want to get to this, but they're showing them like, okay, this is a target here, right? So you could get from 48.24 to roughly 48.29, right? So whoever wants to step on the gas and add some buying pressure to this level right here at 48.24, they're showing you that there's liquidity here that they could get out, right? So it's kind of giving them initiative to get their campaign moving, right? So they're getting support from other players who they might not have as much buying power as them, as the big fish who's up there, right? They mightn't have as much buying power as them to push price from like say this level here all the way up. They might have some buying power to maybe move a couple points, 3 points, right? And they're trying to encourage them to, okay, assist us in moving price up, right? So a lot of the times you're gonna see like at these edges here, the volume profile, right? The initiative players are gonna be these guys, right? The initiative buyers are gonna step in when the gas starts getting low. Like you see these selling bubbles right here. They're gonna step in like this and create that buying because they want to get to their target. You know what I'm saying? So the only reason sometimes they might actually bring price back down to the other edge is to reaccumulate, right? So if their campaign is going well, they're getting people to join in with them a little bit because they don't really want much people. They don't want to do all the work, you know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna kind of bring down their average price, right? Because this here is actually their price at 48 or 750, right? They stepped in here, they probably sold, they bought some, sold so they can get price down, and this all of them this is this all of this here is them pushing price up, right? So that's kind of like how I use Trader Map Pro for like targets and stuff like that. I want to see where the big players are and try and align myself with them, you know. So let's see here. Let me just show you examples on a smaller scale of buying on the edge of like the volume profile. And this is how you know that they're kind of in
Sweep
there
ES.
trying to move price up,
Absorption sellers
right?
ES.
So you can see this big buying right here. this big buying right here, it's all lining up with the edge of the profile, right? At the time it was created, that'll be the edge of the profile. So you see it's kind of getting smaller up here. These are the edges where they have to start participating to keep buyers encouraged that okay, yeah, it's still moving up. So right here you're getting the buyers at the edge. Let me just make that bigger. So you see how they're buying at the top. This is to encourage other participants to step in with them, right? Now, if they get tired of that and nobody is stepping in with them, then they might probably break price back down. You know what I'm saying? But this is a resistance level, Camarilla R4. So some of the smaller players are probably gonna start selling at these levels here, right? They're gonna start closing their positions, and these big players are gonna have to support price like this, right? So they're gonna have to absorb these guys like they've been absorbing, right? Every time it comes down, buy them up, and kind of make them feel like, man, I should not really take profit right there. It's still going up. So they have to move the market a certain way for like other players to think, well, you know what, this is a uptrend. It's not really that strong, but it's still moving consistently. So that's all like big player moves, you know what I'm saying? That's big player trading. For us, we can't really just hold positions and absorb big drawdowns and stuff like that, but these guys can, right? So if they whatever they feel like is best for them at whatever time, that's what they do, right? So once they see players are still coming in with them, they'll probably keep moving price up. So that's basically where we're at right now. And that's how I'm gonna start using this this VWAP indicator, because I actually had this VWAP indicator for a while and I used to just kind of use this one right here for like reversals, right? When I see like prices breaking down like this right here, I would take shorts and stuff like that. But I realized like it's a little more dynamic than that. It's you could use these deviation bands in a lot of different ways. And the way I kind of found that out is like I was listening to trading in the zone, right? And it was saying that a lot of people, you might look at your chart and you really don't see the full picture, right? You only kind of see what your mind is letting you see or what you want to see, right? And that really stuck with me. Like when he said that, I was like, wait, hold on. The example he used was that the first time you looked at a chart, you didn't really see all the stuff that you actually see now, right? And he was kind of explaining why that is, because you didn't have the knowledge to have the perception of what you're seeing now when you first saw a chart, right? So he says that actually happens like when you're in big trades, your mind kind of blocks out certain things that is right there on the chart telling you like maybe it's time to sell, right? And you won't close the position. You keep looking for indicators or candle patterns that's supporting your mindset or your goal, right? But you're not looking at the obvious signs of like, okay, it's time to close this position. And that's something I really struggle with in my trading as well. It's like being stubborn. So I'm kind of being more aware of that after listening to Trading in the Zone, because I have it on audiobook as well, and it's a great listen. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I end up looking back at my chart. I was looking at VWAP, and that's how I discovered I like, wait, hold on. I have an indicator here that's allowing me to, because normally I would wait for the Camarilla R3 breakout, right? Before I actually go long. But I could actually, with the setup here at the open, I could actually go long from here because all of this supporting VWAP, right? And let's see if there's other things here.
Stops ES
Right,
buy.
so this is the central pivot range, right? We already broke through the central pivot range where we're opening above it, right? All of these things are confluence for a long position right at the open. If we get support here at this lower
Stops
deviation
ES
band,
buy.
as soon as the open happens, it's a high probability trade of taking this long right here at 48, excuse me, at 48.10, right? And placing my stop here at probably 48.0750, right? So if I actually took that position, I'd be way better than 48.1375, my average price, so it's something I'm gonna be executing like in the new year and stuff. When trading, I'm not really trading. I'm only paper trading like until the end of the year. Not really taking any real trades, So as you can see here, we're coming up here to Camarilla R4, the second upper deviation band, and we got a reversal pattern. We did not come back and test it, right? So you can see there's strong support here, right? So even though we came back to this level, got the reversal pattern here, we still got the buyers covering all of that, right? So it's not like these tests. These tests here brought that back to the first upper deviation band. So this means to me that buyers are really serious in getting their target up here at 48, like 34. I'm trying to think what else I could point out. Oh, okay. Right. This here is another confluence for like at least a R1 test or previous week's high at R1 is at 48.31, right? That's also a uptrust level I have here from the 1 hour chart breaking down the Wyckoff theory, and that's also a target right there at 48.31. So one of the things with the pivot levels, let me just show this. So the pivot levels, as you can see, they are very narrow, right? That's the bottom central, that's the top central. The blue one is the central pivot, right? So it's in a higher value relationship from prior day, right? It's somewhere down there. Let me just be thorough and show you. Right, so the top central from the prior day is here at
Stops ES buy. Sweep
47.89.
ES. Absorption
Oh, we're
buyers
getting some
ES.
big buyers
Stops
here.
ES buy.
We're getting some big buyers here above Camarilla R4. So let me try and run through this real quick so we can get back to the action, right? So that's the top central. That's the central pivot here for the prior day at 47.82. The bottom central was at 47.74.75, right? So the
Absorption
range
sellers ES.
between the central, the top central, and the bottom central is much wider than this one today, right? So that's indicative of a breakout, right? Now, the way we open in the ETH is significant, but the statistics is really for the RTH open, right? So we opened here below the central pivots, which is kind of breaking the thesis of looking for higher value above the central pivot range, right? Because what we could have done is open here and struggle to get above, right? This could have been resistance and moved us back down. But the opening candle was significant because it broke through with heavy volume. So that's showing that the buyers are serious. Excuse me. The buyers are serious in keeping this above this level. Right. So as we moved along in the ETH, let's see at the open. As you can see, we stayed above the central pivot range. We didn't touch it at all. Just that one touch in the beginning of the ETH. So heading into the RTH here. Right. So this is the statistic now, right? It's high probability percentage. It's a high probability percentage that if we don't touch the central pivot range at the open, that we're most likely gonna get to floor pivot R1 and possibly even close above floor pivot R1, right? So this has a very, very high percentage of getting hit today, right? Now, what's another high percentage is that we possibly are going to close above R1. If we didn't test this level here, wait, hold on, let me get the percentages. This is from the secrets of a pivot boss. I have this written down somewhere. Hold on one second. All right, so let's see here. Um, so if we do touch the central pivot range, right, getting to R1 or S1 is a 73% chance, right? So if we don't touch the central pivot range, let's see. Right, so getting to R1 is 67.2%, right? And that's only lower because a lot of times it opens above the R1 level. So this would be like a big trend day. It doesn't touch the central pivot range and it does touch R1 67.2%. But the R2 level and S2 level increased to 63.9%, right? So most likely we're going to close above R1 and possibly even get to R2. Now, I personally don't think we're going to get to R2 today because of the liquidity I showed you here on Bookmap Trader Map Pro, right? Because that's where the liquidity is sitting. And you can see how the liquidity here is moving up. So it's above 48.30, which is R1 48.31. And this liquidity is staying right here. That's not moving at all. Now, if we
Sweep
see this
ES.
big liquidity
Stops
is moving,
ES
you see how
buy.
the buying is coming in
Absorption
there?
buyers ES.
They're looking for their target, at least to R1, right? Damn, I think I moved something around just now. Wait, hold on. All right, my bad. 1 second. Right, so we're getting this big buy in here. As you can see on Trader Map Pro, let me go back to the regular book map where you can see the big buying is happening again at the edge of the session volume profile. We're always getting those big buyers here coming in, and that's the big players, right? They're pushing price towards their level, right? So well, this is a target here. Let me just move that. I actually have some paper trays on here as well. Yeah, I gotta hurry up. It's gonna hit cancel all. Right. So I wanted to run up to R1, right? This was a target here I had at 48, 28, 25. So I wanted it to move further. So I had to cancel that order right there. Let's see how long is it. Wow, this video is 40 minutes already. So yeah, that's kind of like my breakdown of this trade I'm in today. And I need to take these live trades as well, man. This is paper trading, so I'm kind of back testing and practicing this theory I was that I kind of discovered because of trading in the zone, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's going well. Um when you're in a paper trade, I guess you could think more clearly, you know what I'm saying, compared to having risk on the table. So you kind of gotta trade all of these strategies relentlessly to make sure you get comfortable with these trades, and especially live you gotta take the risk. Sometimes it's not gonna work out. Like if you take the lower deviation buy right here, you're probably gonna get stopped out sometimes, you know what I'm saying. You might take this buy right here at 48.09 or 48.10, right? And it might just come back down below this level and stop you out and still probably go in the direction. But is the general strategy that you have to work all the time, because you're gonna get these results here where at this second lower deviation band you get support. When you push above the first lower deviation band, you're gonna get to VWAP. If you push above that, you're gonna get to the upper deviation band. If you hold above that level, you're gonna hit the second upper deviation band. If you get like a reversal pattern, you could stop out according to your strategy. You see this VWAP buying right here, you could jump back in, put your stop there again at around, let's say 48, 11, 25, and then you'd be riding that up until like you see probably like a reversal pattern here again. You could probably stop out, wait to see what's happening. You get in buying at VWAP again. And all of this is coinciding with my Camarilla R3 thesis of like a moderately bullish level and wanting to take buys around that breakout, right? Now, the good thing with this VWAP strategy I'm going to incorporate is that I don't need to wait for a Camarilla R3 breakout anymore. Because I used to be thinking like, I want to find some way where I could get in on the buy and ride through the breakout and not actually only take the breakout. So this is going to help me with taking the ride up to the breakout, so, VWAP holding our support, and you could jump back in these trades here. Now, let's say you take this buy here at Camarilla R3 again on this VWAP support. You're going to be running into this level here, right? You're probably going to get a little pullback to Camarilla R3, and you see you get another dip here. So I'm going to have to use VWAP as that support. So let's see how much pips that is. Not pips, but ticks. Let's say I took a Camarilla R3 breakout here, and it lines up with my risk tolerance. I take like 4 points. So with this, I might take like 3 points risk, and I'm looking to get to Camarilla R4, right? So this trade here would line up once I keep my stop where it's supposed to be, and don't try and move up too much. Now I'm gonna have to withstand some drawdown, right? It's gonna come back to VWAP, and once we hold VWAP, I'm good, right? So this will be the trade here. and then I basically get Camarilla R4 at roughly 230, right? I'm still looking to get more than Camarilla R4, but this is a easy, well, not an easy trade because you're gonna have to withstand some drawdowns, but it's just the overall strategy, and using the Vwap bands, you could kind of gauge this, and you could probably stop out. Let's see here. Let me take this off. Like if you're managing your risk pretty tight and stuff like that, you could take off like at break even, jump back in on the buys above Camarilla R3, go up here when you see a little reversal or some weakness, take it off, jump back in. You see reversal, take it off. You see the reversal here, jump back in, and you could just be riding it like that. It depends on how you wanna manage it. You know what I'm saying? And you can see here now we're getting that resistance at the upper deviation, the second upper deviation, and the buyers are gonna have to push through to floor pivot R1. And that's how we use like the statistics with the central pivot range to have more confidence in like, yeah, it's definitely gonna hit R1, so I should probably hold. You know what I'm saying? And just keeping my stop here still below this first upper deviation band here. And yeah, that's basically it, man. Just giving you a little rough draft on how I'm using this strategy and how I'm gonna be developing this strategy. All right, y'all. So it's Malak Shalomo. You'll trade safe and stay blessed.